What if some of the strongest signs of intelligence are the very things that made you feel different your entire life? Not your grades, not your test scores. Certain quiet habits, ones you may have spent years quietly apologizing for. By the end of this, you may understand yourself in a completely different way. Here's the first one. You think before you speak, even when it costs you in the moment. Someone asks a question, and instead of firing back instantly, you pause. People sometimes mistake this for slowness. Here's where it gets interesting. That pause is your mind running calculations. Most people skip entirely, weighing nuance before committing to a single answer. Quick isn't the same as right, and some part of you has always known that. Second, you actually enjoy complexity. While others want the simple version, you find yourself drawn toward the tangled, contradictory, harder to explain version of things. Most people misunderstand this as making life difficult for yourself. But the deeper truth is, simple answers often feel incomplete to you, like being handed half a sentence and being told it's the whole story. Third, you question assumptions everyone else accepts without a second thought. Not to be difficult, because something in you refuses to treat "that's just how it is" as an actual explanation. What nobody tells you is that this habit, uncomfortable as it can feel in a room full of people who'd rather not examine things, is one of the clearest markers of a mind that prioritizes truth over comfort. Fourth, you learn things with no practical use, purely because not knowing feels unbearable. A random rabbit hole at midnight, a topic with zero relevance to your job. Most people learn to get something. You learn because the gap between confusion and clarity feels like an itch only understanding can scratch. Fifth, and this one surprises people, you notice patterns before you can explain them, a feeling that something doesn't add up before you have the words for why. This isn't guessing. It's your mind quietly connecting fragments faster than your conscious thoughts can catch up, leaving you with a conclusion before you have the proof. Sixth, you read emotional undercurrents others miss entirely. The tension beneath a smile, the hesitation behind a quick "I'm fine." People call this overthinking. It's actually data collection, happening so naturally you barely notice you're doing it. Seventh, you think independently, even when it's lonely. You'll arrive at a conclusion that nobody else in the room shares, and instead of abandoning it for comfort, you sit with the discomfort of disagreeing. Most people chase consensus. You've always been more loyal to what makes sense than to what's popular. And the eighth, the one that ties everything together, you've felt different for as long as you can remember. Not better, just slightly out of step, like you're seeing an extra layer underneath conversations everyone else takes at face value. For years, that difference might have felt like something to hide. But here's the deeper truth nobody tells you. Intelligence was never about being the loudest person in the room or proving anything to anyone. It's about seeing reality with a little more clarity than most people are willing to look for. So if you've spent your life feeling slightly different, maybe it was never something to fix. Maybe you were just seeing more of the picture than everyone else around you.